They're stealing your data. You know the app we've all been using to get AI art? Well, it turns out I read the fine print. They're collecting a lot of information from us. Personal identifiers, biometrics, geolocations, and our history. They even disclose that they may sell your data, which means they'll take all that information and can rent it to companies who target you with ads, making that company more money. Like and follow because my next video is crazy. Hair horror stories. Sierra Champraz was looking to change her hairstyle and get a sew-in. She found someone who would do it for the cheap. $8 cheap. Don't go for the cheap. When getting it done, she noticed that her hair was being threaded way too tight. But she didn't say anything because she thought it was normal. So she just let it go. After a couple days, her hair started to fall out. She contacted the lady who did her hair and they were like, "Oh, you left your sew-in too long." Come on now. Her hair was being way too damaged, so she had to cut it off. And then she noticed she had really bad scars. It turns out from all the tightness, her hair was trying to grow out of one pore. Luckily, her hair is growing back now. Like this video if you want a part 2 of hair horror stories. It turns out Greta might have gotten Andrew arrested. That's because when he responded to Greta and had that Jerry's Pizza box in his video, that's all authorities needed to know he was in Romania. And they knew exactly where he was. We have just gotten a suspect for the Idaho College murders. His name is Brian Koberger and he's 28 years old. He was a criminology student who studied just miles from the campus. FBI and SWAT tracked Koberger down to the Poconos Mountains in Pennsylvania. SWAT entered his location and detained him instantly. He appeared before a judge on Monday and will face criminal charges in Idaho. A motive has not been stated, but cops say this is just the beginning. But why do you think he did it? As more news develops, I'll keep you guys updated. People are mad at this mom for this.
So Arabella decided to f with my whip shots last night and my up. So now we let her open her gifts and let's see what Santa brought her. Santa ain't bring you shit. Aww. Cause you been bad. So you're not gonna get shit. Let's see what the next one is. Since you wanna be bad, let's see what Santa brought bad kids. Let's see how Santa treat bad kids.
But let me know what you think. Why was this police officer following this man? Walter Carr and his mother had moved to Alabama after their house was destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. Walter wanted to work to help his mom, so he finally found work at Bell House, but it was 20 miles away. He had an old car, but the next day it broke down. His map said it would take 7 hours to walk to his job, and he really needed the money, so he decided to walk. Halfway through, he was done, tired, sweaty, and his knees was hurting. He also noticed a cop was following him. The officer asked what he was doing out so late. Walter explained, and the cop drove him the rest of the way. When they arrived at the house that Walter was supposed to move the furniture at, the lady was moved by his story. She started a GoFundMe on Facebook and raised $30,000. The CEO also heard about the story and gave Walter his car. Never give up, even when it seems like you're at your bottom. This TikToker revealed that her dad unalived himself because she got married to a black man. Trigger warning, this case is horrible. China Arnold had a 28-day-old baby named Paris with a man named Terrell Talley in 2005. On the 28th day, she had a huge argument with her man Terrell over the paternity of Paris. That's when Terrell had enough and stormed off to cool down. China, being highly intoxicated, looked at the 20-day-old, looked at her microwave, and did the unthinkable. For 2 minutes, Paris cooked, her insides reaching 108 degrees. China then went to Tyrell and to his face said, if you hadn't cheated, she would still be alive. After many trials, she now serves a life sentence. You see this dancing lady? Well, this video has a disturbing backstory. She's located in Serbia, and if you see her, you're supposed to remain quiet, unnoticed, or she will pull out a knife and chase you.
Hold on a minute. I'm hungry and I bought some cereal minis. Comment down below your favorite cereal because I want to see if y'all got good taste. I swear, if somebody says Raisin Bran in the comments, I'm coming to your house and I'm boxing you. We gonna box. Come dance like that in America. I have you dancing all right. Pew, pew. Dance. Now, the police played this off as one big joke. They thought it was a fairy tale. People were just making it up. You know how people talk about folk tales and stuff like that? Until videos started appearing of her, and then the police took it very, seriously. They opened up a huge investigation. In 2019, she disappeared. She was afraid when them cops come. I'm scared of the cops too. It's all good. In 2023, she just returned, and more videos started popping up of her and the knife more often. Oh, this time she's threatening people. She's not playing. Police have now started taking her very seriously and telling everybody that if they see her, do not go near her. Stay indoors. Let's talk about Jeff the Killer. By the way, this is a creepypasta. He was a 13-year-old boy who had just moved to a new town with his mother and father. And he was already being bullied a lot in horrible ways that I can't even say on this video. One day at a party, the bullying got a little too out of hand. They disfigured him, lighting him on fire and throwing bleach on his face. He woke up in the hospital with his head wrapped in bandages. His eyelids were burnt off. When he took off the bandages, he noticed his face was all leathery and pale. He started laughing uncontrollably, and doctors just played it off as, oh, maybe it's the medicine we gave him, making him a little loopy. He started saying he loved his new face, and he eventually carved a permanent smile in his mouth because mentally he was broken. He was no longer that nice little 13-year-old boy. That's when he decided to get revenge on the bullies, taking them out one by one. This watermelon's good. He even took his family's life. What did they do to you, bro? What did they do? Now it's stated that he comes after anyone who stays up late. This was the last photo someone took of him before he got them. This picture is supposedly cursed. People are convinced that this guy encountered a skinwalker.
Yo, what the? What the? Bro. There's nobody in here. Yo!
They say that it was a skinwalker trying to mimic a human and lure him in. If you could only pick 3 words, what would your last words be before a skinwalker got you?
Tell you why I think it's a 10. This is a blueberry chicken sandwich from Smoke and Fire here in Vegas.
Woo! I got it. Let's see if Keith Lee actually has good taste or not. Also got a side of mac and cheese because I haven't had mac and cheese in so long. And the sauce, all the sauce and stuff right here. Let's try it. The blueberry is like a sweet. It goes with the salty. Now let's try this mac, baby. Gotta add some salt and pepper in there. Ooh, baby, yeah, yeah. Give y'all a little look-see of the mac. Yes, sir. And now for the fries. Season. You don't even need no ketchup. Today we're gonna be watching Scariest Creatures Caught on Tape. Let's just jump into it. A man was on what seems to be a hike when he spots a strange creature in an abandoned well.
Завелся не коп в жуткое место. Такие руины. И вот, неспокойно, как бы вот еще солнце не зашло, а как-то мрачно, очень мрачно. Еще и в колодце что-то шипит. Может, ужик.
That thing looked like a rake. A routine sewer service robot was surveying a sewer when it came across this strange creature. Look, I ate Taco Bell last night. Let's just say I gave birth on that toilet. And that's probably what came out. Who would ever think to put blueberry on a chicken sandwich? A man was exploring a tunnel when he hears what appears to be strange whisperings.
Rock, you can see right here where some of these boards are bending. Do you hear that? Sounds like, what, is that wind? I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. Do you hear that? It stopped. Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy. Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow. I've heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here and head back out to the portal. That was weird.
Bro said a bird. What birds are you listening to, fam? Because that was not a bird. And what is up with you people? Yeah, I said it, you people. Exploring caves alone. You wouldn't catch anybody with my complexion doing that. Uh-oh, my baby calling me. Look at him, he got a little titty on his head. Y'all, should we name him Gizmo, Nipplehead, or Gucci? Comment down below. In the next video, I'll let you know which name won. A man was hearing strange sounds in a sewer, and this is what he caught on film.
I'm coming up on the tunnel right now. I'm hearing the noises inside the tunnel, and hello? 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 I don't want to hurt you. 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 I just...
What do y'all think, real or fake? Because I don't know who's stupid enough to go towards a sound that you should be running away from. Speaking of creatures, if you made it this far in the video, comment down below which mythical pet you would have. A baby dragon, a baby unicorn, or a pet rock. Scientists were underwater when they spotted this strange shaped creature, but then it morphs into like a jellyfish that has bioluminescence on its head. As the camera gets closer to it, it quickly darts off and splits into two. I don't know what animal that is, but if you have any idea, comment down below. Because that's wild. A couple years ago, a couple explorers decided to submerge themselves down deep into the Atlantic Ocean to find new species. But what they caught would make you brown your pants, because suddenly a sea monster appears above the capsule with two long arms. Some people believe that it's the Japanese creature called the ninja. Other explorers captured a similar creature while exploring the deep dark ocean, and it looked similar to the ninja, eyes and all. But they decided to not get closer to it to avoid any danger. Okay, if you made it this far in the video, answer this question. If you died today but was going to be reborn, what new timeline would you want to be born in? Neapolis 4200, Frost Hills 2062, or Mystic Woods 7000? Let's talk about the Slender Man. He's an urban legend, unnaturally tall with a human body and a featureless face. Slender Man is supernaturally strong. He's able to tear through clothes and mutilate the bodies of his victims, which are usually young teens and kids. You'll usually see him while you're playing outside, if you wake up in the middle of the night in your room, or even in your closet. By the way, guys, we're making a donut burger. A lot of you guys requested it, so we're gonna try it out and see if it's good. Slender Man also has supernatural powers: mind control, telekinesis, and these creepy tentacles that come from the back of his body. Speaking of superpowers, if you could pick one superpower, what would it be? We're gonna be taking the Wendy's Baconator and putting it on the donut. Take that first half and put the beautiful Baconator, the cooked donut. That looks kind of fuego. I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10. It's just a salty mixed with the sweet. Even though he's an urban legend, some people have said they've seen him and have caught him on video. Or this video.
What? Sally, cut the camera! Sally!
Bro got all them powers, but can't get no muscle? Bro needs some milk. Bony as heck, look like Jack Skeleton. To be honest, I might give him the burger. By the way, guys, last video I said, what should we name our baby? You guys voted Gizmo, so I guess we named him Gizmo. He hungry, so we're gonna be responsible parents and give him some cake. Let's talk about this picture. This is why if I ever have kids, I'll never let them use the bathroom alone. A 7-year-old girl and her mom were headed to Target, and she was getting some clothes for school. Her mom also wanted to grab some snacks for movie night. So while her mom went to go grab popcorn and other snacks, she told her daughter to go pick out clothes for school. When her daughter finally finished and picked out the clothes, she went up to her mom and said something strange happened. A sad pale lady had came up to her, telling her that she wished she could have her own daughter that looked just like her. The mom, who thought the daughter was just joking around, laughed it off and said, "Let's go." While heading to the register, the daughter shook her mom and said, "That's the lady who told me she wanted a daughter just like me," pointing at a mannequin. The mom laughed, thinking the daughter was still being silly. You know how kids have wild imaginations, always playing around. While at the register, the daughter had to go to the bathroom, so the mom told her to hurry up. It was only a couple hours down, by the way. While in the bathroom, the daughter texted the mom saying the pale lady's in here who wanted a daughter. The mom, trying to get in a rush back home to her other kids, said, "Hurry up, we have to go. Stop playing around." 10 minutes later, and the daughter never came out. The mother, who was waiting outside the bathroom at this time, rushes in the bathroom to see what the heck is going on. The daughter was nowhere to be found. She even checked the stalls to see if her daughter was hiding, standing on a toilet or something. On one of the stalls, she found her daughter's cell phone on the floor. By the way, if you made it this far in the video, comment down below your favorite fruit. Mine is mangoes. When she checked her phone, this was the last image found in it. Police still to this day have no explanation on what happened to that little girl. You should be scared to meet people you talk to online. Blanca Erano was a 51-year-old Mexican woman who met a Peruvian man named Juan Villaforte on an online gaming app. On the last day of October, she traveled 3,000 miles to see him. This was in Lima, Peru. She thought they would live happily ever after together. They were staying in the beach city of Huacho, where Villaforte lived. Blanca thought the relationship was going well and that she was in love. Then she suddenly went silent. Her family suspected something was wrong after not being able to contact her for some time, and reached out to Juan, who said that she got bored of him and left him alone. He said that she took a plane ticket back to Mexico because he could not provide the life that she wanted. But what I'm about to tell you is much darker than that. Because on November 10th, the Peruvian police found fingers on the beach. They also found a faceless head and a torso with no heart or lung or anything in it. But they could tell it was Bianca because the family verified that the ring on the finger they found was hers. Juan was arrested but the crazy part is he posted the on TikTok. Yes, TikTok, before being arrested. If you ever don't want to end up in this situation, you should always use publicdatacheck.com, because I use it all the time before I go on dates, because people are crazy nowadays and you never know what they're hiding. It allows you to do a background report on anyone that you meet or want to know more about. It even has a reverse phone lookup for numbers that keep hitting you up that aren't in your contacts. So check it out, publicdatacheck.com. What story should I cover next? Comment down below. Let's talk about the Goat Man. He's located in Poplick, Kentucky. Some people say he's a science experiment that was going horribly wrong, and he decided to become a circus freak. That's how I eat your mom's booty. Others believe he was a farmer who tortured his goats for Satan and was cursed into becoming a goat monster. Speaking of, if you were cursed to become any half animal, what animal would you be? Me personally, I'd probably be a half eagle, because your boy would want to fly. He's said to live under the bridge of Popelet, and when he comes around, there's said to be a stench of decaying flesh. He said to lure people near the train tracks and watch them get hit by trains. Now this is where things really get scary. But before I tell you, update on Gizmo. You guys remember in my Slender Man video, we voted on naming my Tamagotchi Gizmo. Points to whoever can notice something different about our child Gizmo. Back to the scary part. In 2016, there was a 26-year-old Ohio woman. She went to the bridge looking for the goat man. By the way, guys, we're making Connie salad. I got this recipe from Winnie Hayes. Didn't use all her ingredients, but I used what I could. I think it came out good. Anyways, while looking for the goat man, the 26-year-old ended up getting hit by a train and falling off the bridge. Some people believe that this was one big accident. But come on now, I told you guys the goat man loves pushing people in front of trains. Oh my gosh, look at that. Woo! That is so good. People believe that she did end up finding the goat man, and that her falling off that bridge and getting hit by a train was no accident. It was him all along. Let's talk about the smiling dog. This picture was sent to multiple emails throughout the world. But the scary part is it would slowly start changing and getting weirder and weirder if you didn't do what the email would tell you. The photo was cursed because after viewing the photo, its victims would start going insane until they would pass the email on to someone else. You want a snack? You want a snack? Sit. Deepa. Good boy. Yeah. You see, they needed to pass the image on to another email and curse the next person. This would freak people out so much, to the point where they would go insane and sometimes unalive themselves. Once they got the email, they would drive themselves into an unspeakable panic. They wouldn't even sleep because Smile Dog would visit them in their dreams, restrict their speech and their movement, and constantly tell the victims to spread the word. By the way, this is a chicken teriyaki bowl, and I got a banana milkshake. Look how good he's being. My dog never fiends over my food. He never goes after it, he never begs. If you had to pick a pet that wasn't a dog or a cat, what would it be? Me personally, I'd probably pick a monkey.
You already look like a monkey.
If his victims didn't spread the email, they would pass away in their sleep. And the crazy part is when their bodies were found, they would reportedly have dog bite marks all over them. No one knows exactly where the original photo came from. So be careful next time opening an email, because it can be your last. Let's talk about this picture and the dark secret behind it. These photos started popping up and going viral everywhere. It was a picture of alien beings landing somewhere in South America. Now you can see the aliens looking like they're having a good time and vibing. Hold on, I'm hungry. Let's see what we got today. Ooh, fried snow crab legs. This is from the Raiders Claw truck here in Vegas. Look on Yelp if you're in Vegas and find these. Look at this! And look at this shrimp. Woo! Tastes like your grandma's booty. See, the aliens didn't come to just take pictures. Don't cap, them aliens look like you. I ain't even gonna lie, they got your head and everything. I can never take things serious. But the story behind these pictures will send chills down your spine. You see, one of the people in that area that was taking pictures with the aliens claimed that the aliens came down to warn them of an asteroid headed right towards Earth. They said it was coming pretty fast and that it was bigger than the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. And our government knows this, but refuses to tell us in fear that we'll freak out and cause chaos. Before we continue, let's settle this. What's better, crab legs or wings? Comment below, let's see who wins. The government says they simply can't save all of us. The aliens saying that the higher up governments have been creating technologies over the years because they've known this asteroid was coming and are going to be making a trip to Mars soon. They've been flying rovers and robots over to Mars using AI to help build and prepare cities on Mars for when they come. The sad thing is that they said that the governments are planning to leave us behind, but take their families, friends, and anyone that's important to building society, like doctors, scientists, etc. Instead of focusing on destroying the asteroid, they think it's better to just let us all die, because Earth is too populated anyway. See, the aliens were down to take pictures and interact with the people when they came down. But soon after, the government had came and confiscated all cameras, took some people with them and the aliens. And luckily for us, the family that leaked all this had escaped just in time to post it on the internet. Now that these photos have gone viral, the government is trying to cover it up, claiming that the photos are AI generated and not real, calling them a hoax. But what do you believe? Are the pictures real or fake? And how will you be preparing for when the asteroid comes? Let's talk about this picture and the dark secret behind it. These photos started popping up and going viral everywhere. It was a picture of alien beings landing somewhere in South America. Now you can see the aliens looking like they're having a good time and vibing. Hold on, I'm hungry. Let's see what we got today. Ooh, Woo! Fried snow crab legs. This is from the Raiders Claw truck here in Vegas. Look on Yelp if you're in Vegas and find these. Look at this! And look at this shrimp. Woo! Tastes like your grandma's booty. See, the aliens didn't come to just take pictures. Don't cap, them aliens look like you. I ain't even gonna lie, they got your head and everything. I can never take things serious. But the story behind these pictures will send chills down your spine. You see, one of the people in that area that was taking pictures with the aliens claimed that the aliens came down to warn them of an asteroid headed right towards Earth. They said it was coming pretty fast and that it was bigger than the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. And our government knows this, but refuses to tell us in fear that we'll freak out and cause chaos. Before we continue, let's settle this. What's better, crab legs or wings? Comment below, let's see who wins. The government says they simply can't save all of us. The aliens saying that the higher up governments have been creating technologies over the years because they've known this asteroid was coming and are going to be making a trip to Mars soon. They've been flying rovers and robots over to Mars using AI to help build and prepare cities on Mars for when they come. The sad thing is that they said that the governments are planning to leave us behind, but take their families, friends, and anyone that's important to building society, like doctors, scientists, etc. Instead of focusing on destroying the asteroid, they think it's better to just let us all die because Earth is too populated anyway. See, the aliens were down to take pictures and interact with the people when they came down. But soon after, the government had came and confiscated all cameras, took some people with them and the aliens. And luckily for us, the family that leaked all this had escaped just in time to post it on the internet. Now that these photos have gone viral, the government is trying to cover it up, claiming that the photos are AI generated and not real, calling them a hoax. But what do you believe? Are the pictures real or fake? And how will you be preparing for when the asteroid comes? If you see this woman on the street, do not try and help her. La Llorona hunts the night, doing the unthinkable to passengers. Her name was Maria. When she was alive and very young, she fell in love and started a family. Then had children, 2 little boys. Her husband, aka her baby daddy, would travel a lot for work, and he would always make it back home, until one day he didn't. He went out for milk and never came back. Just like my father. By the way, guys, quick update on Gizmo. He is no longer a baby. He has grown up into a man. Our child is growing up so fast. Back to the story. So since her man left and never came back, Maria became heartbroken. And that heartbreak soon turned to rage and anger. So she decided to take it out on the kids. She unalived both of them by drowning them in the river. When she came back to her senses, she regretted it deeply. She mourned for days and days until she decided to throw herself in the river. For that, she is now bound to wander the earth forever. Bro, I can live off mangoes forever. If you could only choose one food to live off of, what food would it be? Comment down below. I want to know who got good takes. People who have seen her said she walks around at night, crying for her 2 little children. Some people say that she'll even snatch up your children, confusing them as her own. So if I ever have kids and they get on my nerves, I know exactly who to look for. And I'm not finna lie, if she fine, I just might let her catch me. Hey, Miss Larona. Let's talk about this photo. You see that in the background, right? This girl, along with 2 of her friends, disappeared a few days after it was taken. You see, this happened in Westerville, Ohio in 2010. These girls were reported to always harass and bully a 15-year-old girl named Clarice. They would invite her over to sleepovers and beat her, harass her. Some days she would even have to go to the hospital for her injuries. Clarice would always tell her parents that these were just accidents. One day even having a broken arm. Every time these girls would invite Clarice over or to hang out, she would keep going though, because Clarice had no friends and all she desperately wanted was friends. One of the days Clarice stopped coming to school. Turns out she had become very sick of an unknown disease and sadly passed away. Many months later, 3 of the girls went missing. A huge police search happened, but strangely, there was no leads. In one of the girls' laptops, this was the last photo that was left in her album. Many teens and kids have since started going missing. Some reporting that days earlier, when staying up late, they saw a girl in their bedroom doorway, asking them if they wanted to be friends. Some of these kids' phones have been recovered, and some of their last photos have strange pictures of a girl's face in them. Some people believing that it's the ghost of Clarice. Police still to this day have no leads on these missing children or teens. But if you're staying up late and you see a girl in your doorway asking to be friends, do not accept to being friends. How come nobody is talking about the man with the upside down smile? In the 1910s and the 1960s, he was often seen amongst crowd gatherings after tragedies like car accidents and house fires occurred. Now you'd see him in the photos of tragedies, but he was never actually seen by anybody on the scene.
See this picture? It was at a New Year's Eve party. And right after that party, someone actually passed away. It's said that he always shows up near tragedies because he likes feeding off bad energy and trauma.
But is he real? A man started noticing paranormal activity around his house. Lights flickering and furniture being thrown around. When he told his girlfriend, she told him to wait outside of the house. If you know me well enough, you know exactly what I'm about to say this tastes like. Comment down below. When he told his girlfriend, she wanted him to go outside and not go back in. But he wanted to get more footage because he thought somebody had broken in. This is what he caught.
The fourth or fifth time I had watched the video, I noticed something in the corner of the room, which is actually my daughter's room. So I screenshotted it and I just zoomed in on it. My heart just dropped. I could feel my face, all the blood in my face ran. I mean, it just...
Let's talk about Siren Man. He's a 40-foot tall humanoid being. He has no eyes and doesn't eat despite having organic teeth in his sirens. He's rarely seen in areas with huge populations. Wow, these are big cucumbers. No wonder she left me. I don't know if I'm doing these right, but it looks kind of right. He hides stationary amongst all the trees and poles so he can blend in. The scary part is he can shapeshift. He uses his sirens to lure people out, and then when you are close enough, he strikes, dismembering your body and chewing you apart. This is an Asian cucumber salad. Final touches. Here we are. That was busting. If you made it this far into the video, answer this question in the comments. Would you rather be able to know when you're gonna die or how you're gonna die? And why? Now, even though people say Siren Head is an urban legend, some people claim they caught him on tape. Remember when I said Siren Head doesn't eat his victims? Well, he needs to start. He looked like he needs some protein. If he ate as much as he opened that big siren mouth, maybe he gained some meat on his bones. Here are 3 ways to survive Ironhead. Stay out of rural, woodsy areas, because he likes to hide in most of those places. If you ever hear strange sirens near you, run. And be aware of your surroundings. He can shapeshift, so you want to be able to know if there's an odd building or pole near you that you don't ever remember being there, because it's probably Siren Man. So run the opposite direction. Why is no one talking about the dark backstory of the Kappa? The Kappa are a feared yokai in Japanese culture. They would attack people that come near their territory, mainly children, women, and fishermen. They were strong beings that used the water on top of their head to get their powers. But there's actually a dark story behind this tale. You see, in ancient Japan, poor families who had newborn babies couldn't afford to take care of them. So they would throw them in the river, and you know them. They then would float down the river and decay and turn all green. This is supposedly the best way to cut watermelon. Definitely make things much easier and less messy. So when kids used to play by the river, they used to see the green decaying, you know, and be like, Mom, Dad, what the heck is that? So rather than explaining what it actually was to children, the families thought of a lie, telling them that it was a monster called the Kappa, and told them that it would drag them in the river and take them away forever if they went near it. This would keep the kids away from the river and discovering more of the babies.
Are mermaids real?
Let's get out of here quick.
I mean, why have there been so many depictions of them in ancient cultures? There have been underwater civilizations found, and even tools and spears under the ocean to hide the booty. But could that just be from sunken ships and flooded cities, or mermaids? By the way, y'all, TikTok might be going bye-bye soon. So just in case, meet me at Clapper. I'm loving it so far. It's like TikTok, but the good old days. It's been easy to grow and build a community. I even created a storytellers group where we can share and talk about stories. But back to the story. Some people believe in the aquatic ape theory, where when apes started evolving into humans, the ones that lived on mainly fish and were mainly by the ocean and lakes, evolved into like half hybrid, half fishes. I mean, it is possible. Whales evolved from mammals to sea creatures, and some humans strangely have webbed feet and toes. Some of us can also breathe underwater for a record 20 minutes. So what do you think? Are mermaids real or fake? Let's talk about Teke Teke. The legend goes there was a young girl who was an office worker in the military. She was then abused, and you know what, by American military men. Look at Milo.
Shut the f up.
That night she leaped on a train track, causing the train to split her in half. Now she walks around and hunts the streets of Japan at night, unaliving everyone she meets in her way. I forgot the chia seeds and the flax seeds. By the way, guys, the reason you haven't seen Gizmo is because he died. Can we get RIP Gizmo in the chat? Comment below, what should we name our new baby? The highest voted name wins. Now she only has her upper half, so the name Teke Teke comes from when you hear her walking on the ground and her nails hit the ground. If you make eye contact with her, even if you escape, you are said to be cursed and will die in 3 days. That's some good stuff. It is said that if you also hear a story about her, you are also cursed. Shortly after hearing about the legend, she will come to you in a dream or a random phone call and ask you a riddle. If you answer right, she might leave you alone. But if you answer wrong, she will come for you next. Someone DM'd me yesterday saying they had video proof that they found Jeff the Killer. Let's watch it together.
Oh, wait. Is that someone? What is that? What is that? Dude, he's like, yo! Oh my god! Oh my god! What's he doing? Yo, that's Jeff the Killer! Yo, that's Jeff the Killer!
No,
What the heck? Oh my god! What the heck?
What are you doing?
Oh my god! Dude, what the heck? Dude, what the hell? Look at his face! Look at his face, dude! You see how he's moving? Dude, he's like crawling and everything. What the hell? Dude, he's like digging into the wood with his hands. Dude, that's literally Jeff the Killer. His hands were literally bleeding. Oh my god, so he didn't leave. He is here.
Guys, no, he's coming. Get away,
Wait,
get
dude.
away.
Guys, he's coming. Just focus, dude. He's already. Wait, yo, he just seen the drone. I think he just seen the drone.
He can't get the
What
drone.
the heck? What the heck? Dude, that's him. Look at his look at his face. Look at his face and his black hair and his paleness. He looks crazy. Oh my god, look, he has blood all over him too. What? Like all over his suit. Dude, there's no. Dude, make sure there's no one else around. Yeah. Dude, oh my god, go hide, dude. We don't want him. Dude, look how he's moving.
I don't think he spots the drone.
Where do you think he's going? No, I think he's already seen us, dude.
No,
oh, he does see us. Look, he's looking at us right now.
Never say this out loud or you will die. There's a cursed Japanese poem called Tomino's Hell. And supposedly if you read it out loud, you will die or be cursed for life. Now you can read it in your head. This is where things get crazy. A man named Suji Teriyama decided to make and direct a movie based on the poem. Exactly 1 week after the release of the movie, he suddenly dropped dead. By the way, y'all, I asked y'all to name our new baby, and the highest voted name was Steve. So I guess when this guy hatches, his name will be Steve. And since we got this baby together, you do owe me child support. Now this other story is also crazy. There was a schoolgirl that was dared to say the poem out loud. Look, you got friends daring you to do stuff like that. You need to get rid of them. Literally 1 week after doing the dare, she suddenly dropped dead.
Ooh, look at that, baby. Look at that. Sheesh.
I flashed the poem somewhere in this video, but I'm telling you, if you find it, don't read it out loud. Or I'm gonna come to your funeral and tell everybody you're stupid. You're stupid.
I just went on the worst date ever.
So yesterday I met up with this girl I met on Tinder. Mind you, this is a daytime date. I don't know how a date even goes bad at 4 p.m. But it did. I pick her up, I open the door for her. I'm a gentleman. Chivalry is not dead with me. But dating needs to be. Because from the jump, she's not talking at all. I'm asking all the questions, getting one-word answers. So I'm like, yo, is she even feeling me? Do my breath stink? So I'm trying to be nice. We get to the spot. I say you can order whatever you want. It's on me. I don't do the whole 50-50 split the bill thing. Get anything you want was probably the worst thing I could ever say. I ordered a steak, rice, and shrimp. She orders the whole menu: mac and cheese, steak, rice, shrimp, a fancy salad, and a margarita. Okay, I'm down to get a little tipsy right now. I'm cool. So I order one too. We get to drinking. She's finally talking, finally opening up. I'm guessing she was shy. I'm like, okay, this is working. She finishes her margarita. I'm like, yo, you should order another one. Maybe it'll open her up more. She does. And then another one. And then another one. And then another one. No, keep ordering. I didn't want to pay my car or my electric bill next month anyway. Yeah, this isn't free margaritas. It's not happy hour. Before we continue the story, I'm in my late 20s and I am still single. All my friends are getting married. Comment down below if you're single or taken, and then put the reason why. But this is where it gets even worse. Once she started down in the margaritas, she started getting crazy. Crazy loud, crazy talkative. Can't even sit in her chair right. I'm like, okay, we gotta go. Long story short, I got her home. She left me a present in my car. Here's a video of the present.
I'm not finna show all of it, but there's literally throw up in my car.
I'm never dating again. I'm single for life.
This security guard gave 2 kids balloons and even talked to them.
But were they ghosts? Let's watch together. And look at the balloons. They're just following him. And he's talking to them. Yo, that's crazy. Real or fake? Is anybody else starting to feel like we jumped into a different timeline? Because things are not adding up. Like, has anybody else noticed the days are starting to go by way faster than they used to? And Picasso was alive at the same time as Charles Darwin and the rapper Eminem. Even our organs are changing places in our body. Like our hearts used to be on the left side of our bodies. Everybody knows this. In cartoons, you would get hit or shot in the heart, you would die. But now all of a sudden our hearts are located in the center of our chests? Not in my timeline. And I remember distinctly there was a robber emoji. Like a robber. Where did it go? Oh, and you remember the song with Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal? Well, the lyrics in my timeline went, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. Now it goes, you've been hit by a smooth criminal. When did he say hit twice? And Pikachu used to have black on his tail. I'm not making this up. Pikachu used to have black on his tail, and I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Chick-fil-A never had a K. Never. It used to be C-H-I-C, and then the rest of it. It never used to have a K. And I know you guys remember this one. Snow White, it used to be mirror, mirror on the wall. Now all of a sudden it's magic mirror on the wall.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
When was it magic mirror? What's something else different you guys noticed in this new timeline? And make sure to like this video if you want a part 2. Do you guys remember the scary story of the demon in the mirror? There was a little girl and her mom who had just moved into a house. Now the little girl would always pee in her new bed because she would be too busy watching cartoons right before bed. And the mom kept having to tell her to go to the bathroom before she went to sleep. But every time the little girl would go, she would run crying, terrified out the bathroom, saying there was a little girl in the mirror. She kept saying the little girl was telling her to come, but she would never actually do it. Now the mom didn't believe this at all. She's like, yo, you just don't want to go to the bathroom at night. You want to stay watching your cartoons because kids got wild imaginations. Now this is where things get a little too crazy. The mom kept trying to make her go to the bathroom before she went to bed, but she kept refusing, telling her mom that the little girl was going to get her. So this time she decided to pick her daughter up and forcefully put her in the bathroom, which is understandable because the mom was tired of cleaning sheets every morning. The mom tossed her in the bathroom, closed the door, and would not let go of the doorknob. For about 10 to 15 minutes, the daughter was screaming and kicking in the bathroom, scratching at the door, punching it, kicking it, all of that, until it suddenly stopped. The mother, thinking finally she used the bathroom, decides to open the door and say, see, look how easy this is. But as she opened the door, she saw the most gruesome sight. Her daughter was hardly mutilated and unalive. She had huge claw marks on her, like she had been ripped to shreds. There was no way a human was capable of doing the damage that it had done. But police needed someone to blame, so they arrested the mom and sentenced her to life in prison. Till this day, the mom claims her innocence, saying that it must have been the demon in the mirror. Let's talk about this scary skinwalker encounter. A TikToker named Samuel said he was walking through a parking lot when a random man suddenly called his name. Whoever made the packaging for bacon needs to be fired, because why is there no like Ziploc or anything on these packages? Who designed this? When I find you, I'm going to steal your dog. I'm going to give you the worst life you can ever have. I hate you. He looked at the guy and got closer to see if he knew him, but he had no idea who he was. And he wondered, how did the guy even know his name? That's when things started to turn weird. The man asked him for $1 and said he knew that he had one on him right now. I don't know how he knew that, but I would have told him to mind your business. Stop pocket watching. Hey, I got a question. Do y'all like chocolate milk or strawberry milk? Comment down below. Samuel said at this point his heart was beating out of his chest. He told the man, yeah, I have $1. You can have it. The man then snatched the $1 out of his hand and asked him if he wanted to see something. The man lifted up the back of his shirt, showed Samuel his tail. He then got on all fours, like an animal, you know, a dog, a lizard, and crawled away. Now look, man, I know this all sounds crazy, right? But as soon as Samuel had that interaction, he went straight to his car, recorded a TikTok video, uploaded the TikTok video.
Okay, bro, so the weirdest thing just fucking happened to me.
Try this baby right here. Now that's a good BLT. I checked his page and he hasn't posted since. That was his last video. If somebody knows Samuel, let me know if he's still alive, because that was his last video posted and that was in 2022. This is the truth behind the Tooth Fairy. Everyone knows who the Tooth Fairy is. She comes to your house to collect your tooth from under your pillow and leaves you a gift. Don't judge me, I'm broke right now. I might need it. All jokes aside, there was a little girl in Cleveland, Ohio. She had lost 2 of her teeth, and when she went to go tell her mom said put it under your pillow for the tooth fairy. So the little girl did, and that night she fell asleep like normal. But a few hours later, the little girl wakes up at night to creaking sounds by her door, but she could barely see because it was pitch dark in her room. So she grabbed her phone, and when she turned on her phone camera's flash, she saw something in her doorway watching her. The door slowly pierced open. It was a pale girl with dark eyes and black wings. She quickly took this picture and then hid under her covers and started crying. Before we continue, I just got a question. Is it just me, or does anybody need like background noise in their room when they're sleeping? I always got like the TV or something playing in the background. Comment down below, do you need background noise or do you just sleep in pitch dark? Because if you do, there is something really wrong with you. Back to the story. So under the covers when she was crying, she suddenly just fell asleep. And when she woke up, her teeth were gone and so was the pale girl by her door. When she showed this photo to her mom, she simply just thought her daughter was messing around and it was a joke. But the little girl still thinks that was the tooth fairy. Let's talk about Khalilslife, also known as the Whistler. He's a whispering spirit that roams Venezuela.
Muchos habitantes de los llanos cuentan haberlo visto. Dicen que el silbón puede aparecerse cerca de una casa ciertas noches.
It all started with a spoiled boy when he asked his father to bring home deer for dinner. But when his father came home, he was empty-handed. The little boy became so furious he took his father's life. But let me tell you, when the family found out, they didn't take too kind of this. The grandfather took the little boy, tied him up to a tree and whipped him. Then he began to rub chili peppers and alcohol on the boy's wounds. His grandfather didn't stop there though. He released 2 dogs on the little boy and they chased him around while the grandfather cursed him to carry his sins on his back. The boy was also cursed to carry his father's remains in the bag and roam Venezuela. Before I continue, TikTok might go bye-bye soon. So just in case, I made a clapper. I'm loving it so far. It's like TikTok, but in the good old early days. I even created a storytellers group where we can share and talk about crazy stories. But back to the story. People around the area report seeing a tall, lanky man carrying bones. He whispers the same tune over and over. If you ever hear his whistle, you should run or you'll be added to his bag next. Barking dogs are said to scare him off because it reminds him of the day that he was cursed. What would you do if you saw Khalilslife? This was Paul Rosington and Kristen Schroeder 2 hours before they died. In the video, the two are seen throwing harsh words at each other in what seems to be an argument. And it seems that Kristen didn't want to leave the argument angry at each other, so she made sure she gave Paul a quick kiss before getting some space. But the kiss didn't patch things up because the two later fought at dinner before going to their cabin on the Carnival Spirit cruise. Now what happens next is heartbreaking. Kristen climbed over the 3-foot-high rail and then slipped, managing to hold on for 4 seconds before ultimately losing her grip and falling. She clipped the balcony as well as a lifeboat and then hit the water. Paul, being a paramedic, jumped in to save her. He plunged 29 feet into the dark sea. Now this was all caught on security camera. Police say that Paul's action to jump into the water to save Kristen was an act of courage, saying that he must have known it was going to end with his life as well if he jumped in, but he did anyway. And that's why they want him awarded the Cross of Valor. Sadly, Kristen's family was also on board during the tragic event. Some people think Paul is dumb for jumping in and losing his life as well. But what do you think? Was it dumb or brave? The Hat Man. You've probably seen him in your dreams. He's one of the most common sleep paralysis demons in the entire world. You'll know when you're about to see him. When you suddenly wake up in the middle of the night, unable to move at all. Sweet grandma's booty. You'll feel like you can't breathe, like your chest is being crushed. There's nothing you can do at all. You can't even scream. And then the Hat Man arrives. Many professionals and doctors believe that he's a figment of your imagination and that he simply just doesn't exist. But there have been many cases of people dying in their sleep for unknown reasons. Yo, it is a hot, almost summer day here in Vegas, and this is so good. You just can't beat honeydew. Comment down below what's your favorite fruit to eat when the days are starting to get warm. One of the cases where the children have passed away in their sleep, this was the last photo in their phone. But police just chalked it up to that was him who took the photo of himself wearing a hat. And there's also this one of a group of women at their mother's funeral. Look behind them. And this one a man took late at night in his house when he was hearing noises near his door. He said there was nothing there in person, but on the phone it showed